Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the final two songs of the Pixel Remaster Final Fantasy VI comparison. I'm going to wait a moment, let people kind of stream in a little bit. Oh my goodness. Slightly less tired than last week, since, I'm not immediately fighting Daylight Savings Time. Frickin' thing. Hopefully, we'll have some interesting stuff to listen to today. I'm actually rather nervous. Because, I myself have gone on record multiple times at saying that the Dancing Mad song is the most, how do I call this? The most objectively well-constructed and brilliantly designed boss song ever made in video gaming history. And I stand by that. To be clear, that doesn't mean it's my favorite. It's not exactly the song that I love listening to. It's a good song, don't mistake me, but I can think of lots of boss songs that are better than that, personally. But in terms of actual construction, yeah, no. Dancing Mad is a more or less literal work of genius. And I've discussed many times how and where and why and all that fun stuff. Yeah, and then we got the ending song, which is essentially everyone's themes strung together into some extremely amazing, awesome stuff. So this should be interesting. Now, I thought about this for a bit. I think, as with the opera, we're not going to listen to the original. First of all, because that would add 30 minutes. Actually, closer to 40 minutes. Second of all, because, have to. Second of all, because, we all know what it sounds like. There's nothing to add there. It's nothing new. And then we have to listen to the FF14 version, obviously. And then we have to listen to the CD version that they put out later. And then we have to listen to one of my mixes. Then we have to listen to the Black Mages version. And then we're going to have to listen to the OC Remix version. And then we're going to listen... Anyways, see you around, Tim. Hope you have a good day. So I think we've got a couple of people streamed in. Oh yeah, we got to listen to the Dissidia version. Very important. There's that heavy metal rock version we got to listen to. That one dude I can't think of the name of right now. I'm joking. So let's just jump into it. I've got it right here. Dancing Mad. So as usual, it's all chopped up, which is really irritating, but I'm pretty sure this is just the whole song. At max volume, because I was listening to that earlier. That's my bad. I apologize. But that is the whole song. My version. I'm not letting you listen to my version, you crazy? Thank you, Tokyo Vampire, very much, as always. And I'll put that towards Yakuza Kiwami 2, if you give me just a moment to pull the document up, which I do have up. Yes, my version is 17 hours, 36 minutes, and 12 seconds long. That's a lie. I forget how long my version is. Of course, now we have a cutscene. Whatever. So let's just jump into it with Dancing Mad. Let me know on the volume. Kind of quiet to me, but I can fix that on my end. So far, this is a completely straight mix. I have absolutely nothing to say about this so far. That's different. That's different. New layers to the choir. think that works as well as the original. It lacks impact. Like, I liked what it was doing when it was slow, when it was trying just to be ominous and terrifying. But when it tries to be frenetic, when it tries to have energy, it fails. Having a singular voice doesn't work for that kind of thing. You need a chorus for that kind of a thing. And instead they went with just the one and then the second voice. So, good on the first change, bad on the second change so far. I hope the wedding goes well, Darth Medoro. Like this part. This part works quite well. I swear some of these instruments are identical to the original. I know they're not, but... And this part works well, too. And then this part does not. That's outside. Like, you see what I mean by the contrast? The instruments carry the intensity, but the voices do not. So that should be the end of the first section. No changes at all, other than the extra voice. Time to listen to the second version. The second tier, I guess. Second movement, whatever. Maybe? Okay. Any day now. There we go. Oh, that was a jarring transition. Ooh. Again, I feel like this should be chorus. Just two instruments, just two voices doesn't really work here. Remaster. Hi, Zoctave. So I was rolling my eyes at the quest, not the song. See, part of the problem is if you're doing a straight mix, which we've seen several in FF6, you have to be very careful about your instrument selection, because that's all you're changing. Like, this is just an organ. There's no real difference here. And then we go back to this. Alright, I know I said I wouldn't. Hang on. Let me get across some of my point here. So there will never be a YouTube Rumination again, Epic. All future shows will be covered by the Streaminations, to answer your question. And thank you for the sub, as always. And I suppose you want that to go to Stargate. So here, Now, I'm not saying this is better in the strictest sense of the word, because it's doing the same thing. It's a singular voice, right? But because the voice is synthetic, it doesn't jar with the rest of the music as much. In other words, it feels like a proper counterpoint. One note, the other note, one note, the other note. By contrast, over here, it feels like two unrelated songs. It feels like the instruments don't gel. See, there's no counterbalance there. So even though the instruments are better, I think it actually works worse. And the only thing they change is they add one extra little layer to make it a little deeper right here. That's actually a good question. I mean, we're here anyways. Whatever. Hang on, let me YouTube it. Because I have the FF14 soundtrack, but it's completely unsorted. That's a long-term project I haven't gotten around to do yet. Is this it? This might be it. Hang on. A little bit before that. So there's a bit of a weird reverb here. I'm not sure if that's the specific video I'm watching. But ignoring the reverb for a second, you notice that the choir is used in a way that better accents the instruments rather than contrasting them here. I do hope you get better quickly, by the way, Epic. As I think I've mentioned before, I've known 3 people who've gone through it, and they've all had different everythings, basically. Different symptoms, different durations. This version also pulls up the organ substantially more. That's new. So, okay, so let's go back to this version. Honestly, let's just move on to the 3rd stanza. Tier 3. In the original, this is just organ. It's actually probably the most boring of the sections, to be completely blunt, because it's just organ. No, I agree, Valvedrix. As I've said, objectively, mechanically, this song is pure brilliance. It's just, stuff like this is part of why I'm like, eh. I mean, I don't even have anything to say about this section. I mean, it's competent. And as Omega Legion pointed out, there's a bit of Kefka's theme in there too, which is nice. Yep, it's an organ piece. I'm sorry, I have nothing to say about this. So I guess we'll just move on to stance 4. In the first few seconds, they've already changed more about this song than the other 3. Much heavier emphasis on the rock organ. Changing of the distorted guitar there. And there's other layers to the drums, the percussion that they added. Which I think works quite well, actually. They're also adding flourishes to the notes. I do like how they're using the distorted guitar quite a bit here. Probably Valvedrix. I agree, though. Emphasizing the bass there. I think the two choir work a lot better here. Especially with that grunge down there to complement it. They added an echo to the laugh. I was just waiting to see if they'd keep the laugh in Vomitrix, because they could have easily replaced that. Looks like there's no second stanza. Looks like it's just another repeat. So, okay. So far, I think I like the first 3 stanzas better in 14, but in the SNES version. But I think the 4th stanza here... Stanza's the wrong word. They call it, like, movements or something. Yeah, they call them... I think the 4th movement... actually works a lot better here in this version. There's apparently a 5th movement? I'll look at that in a minute. Hey, hang on, so I'm sorry. What is this? Okay, so that's movement 1. That's movement 2. That's movement 3. Oh, movement 4 is the bridge, and then movement 5 is Kefka's thing. Okay. And yeah, there's no variance. All right, so I guess that's kind of it. That is actually Dancing Mad. Well, since... just for the curiosity's sake. Let's hit the SNES version, just for this one. Just for movement 4. God, I can't wait to hit Shadowbreaker. We're hitting Shadow next week, by the way. One way or the other. It just looped. It just looped. That's why I just skipped it. One thing I like the SNES version is it's so hard on that organ. And then it's just like, wait, what? But I love it. I love it. Forgive me for I'm biting my tongue to not go into the significance and symbolism of this song, because it's just, this song bleeds symbolism. There's so much meaning in this music, it's ridiculous. I also particularly love how it's sad. Like, it starts off with your typical Kefka-y kind of ha 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 ha, and then, like, meanders a little bit, as if it's drifting, trying to figure out what exactly it's about, or what its purpose is, or what tone it's going for. And then for exactly one portion of the entire song, it gives up all pretenses. And it just becomes a funeral dirge. No more masks. No more pretensions. It's just, after all the attempts and all the effort and all the work, none of it freaking matters. I agree. I think at a certain point or another, Kefka realizes he is losing. And I don't think he cares. I think at the end, Kefka realizes he's lost, and it's just, oh, whatever. Like, not even sorrow, just resignation. But even resignation is stupid, so the bridge is a laugh. Because what else could it be? Sorry, God, I absolutely love this song. It's like I said, it's not my favorite, but it's a fascinating song to discuss. While we're here, just for the hell of it, since I have it up here. Hang on, sorry, let me find it. Some argue Kefka was the original One-Winged Angel. They're wrong. Zeromus is actually predates him, but... Hi, Reggie. Yeah, we just fought this fight the other day. Great fight. Interesting. Oh, I see what you mean. Man, they really pulled that down, didn't they? You hear how not only is it stretched and distorted, but like occasionally it de-distorts. It reverts to normal, and so you just hear it like kind of coming in and out of standard audibility. Yeah, it's wrong, and I kind of like it for a different reason. I mean, if anyone was going to, it'd probably be Kefka, right? Omega Legion. I do like that bridge. And the extra layers to the church organ. And you're right, he really pulls the bass up in this version. Did you hear what he did there? The bass slowly faded in volume until it turned into this. And then it just came back hard. Really distorted the laugh there. Interesting. Anyway, sorry. So that's our 3 versions of Dancing Mad. So then Kefka dies in silence. One of my favorite villain deaths ever. He dies without saying a single word. I love that. And then we have the ending credits. So let's go ahead and pull this. This is in 4 parts here, but I believe this is the full thing. So before we start this, I should probably mention, it starts off, I'm with you on that, Cronin. I think I've told the story before. The first time I ever got to the point, I thought I failed the game. I thought it game overed. This is a sequence this is a medley of most of their the character themes throughout. So this is kind of going to be a rejoinder, but it's also a take on the kind of themes we've heard so far. And I'm very, very curious what they're going to do with several sections, including the one that usually pulls me to tears every time I hear it. We'll see. We'll see. You know, I could see that, Blade to Ball. Going hard there. That's like 3 extra layers to the brass. I let Sid die the first time on accident, because I didn't really know how the system worked. I was freaking out. And my last save was on the floating continent. Nowadays I let Sid die on purpose, but you know. Holy crap! Okay, that's even better. They add the extra layers for the accompaniment, and then they get rid of them for the melody. This is really good take on the Figaro theme. The way they use the strings, the way they use the brass, the way they pull it down and up. Now we move on to Moogle. Well, that's definitely a Moogle. A little bit too Moogle. But you notice how it is bringing it back down in overall tone and tempo after the bwong of the Figaro theme. It's a good time to segue into Umaro, I think. And over into Go-Go. Good usage of woodwinds with brass accompaniment. Yeah, I like that. Yep, Gao shoves people off the cliff. As usual, Gao's theme doesn't really fit him. It's probably one of the only character themes that doesn't work in this entire game. Well, that was depressing. True. I'll give you that, Valvatrix. So, drifting over into Celeste. Pulling Locke's theme. Damn it. Pulling Locke's theme into Celeste's theme here. I would bet money that Celeste's theme and Locke's theme were designed from the beginning to match each other the way they do. Ah, shoot. No, that was good. That was good. Seamless. And of course, who do I go from there but straight to Terra? You notice we keep going from louds to softs. Yeah, the last of the espers. So then we pull up slightly into Realm. Notice the volume doesn't go up, but the tone does. The previous was clearly melancholy. This is far more happy. I like Rome because she's the best actual mage in the game. Gameplay-wise. I think it skips them, objects. So now Shadow. Oh, those strings. Those were great for that. Now listen to that. You notice they added 3 extra layers to that? This is when we transition over to Strago. Interesting order, by the way. Realm, Shadow, Strago. Thank you, Ciela. As always. Dealer's choice. You got it. I don't know, USN Corp. I think I'm just making stuff up at this point. But either way, that is effectively the end of the first section of the ending. That's all the character themes. Now we hit the ending. Where we gotta get the hell out of Dodge. Shala is also Magus' sister, while we're on the subject. Good and bad, classic game lover. It's on the VOD. We actually compared the DS, SNES, and Pixel Remaster versions there. Yeah, I've heard that Omega Legion. I'm not sure of specifics or how they would manage that. Let me shrug. I'm gonna just tell you this right now, classic game lover. The Red Wings remix is legit. YouTube. It's always on YouTube. So, we did it! Good usage of that horn. And they're using the woodwinds to accent the horn, which works quite well, I think. The strings. God, the strings are so good in this. I know, right, Camper? Because usually, frankly, the Pixel Remaster has been using woodwinds wrong. Incorrectly. Too hard, too harsh, too forward. We all know Setzer's the main character. Wait, no, Mog's the main character. He's the only one on the box art. Because it's frickin' amazing, Blade Jamal. It's got energy and verb. It pulls hope into audible format. Of course I have Zenslayer. Next! That's a good damn question, Imperial Star Destroyer. When we get to the FF6 theater, we'll have to decide that. I imagine there will be some contention. I was expecting that to go soft there. I mean, I could see... I was actually just about to mention Thancred's voice actor. He needs to sound irreverent, but he's actually not. And Thancred, you know? I'm just going to take another second to gush about the strings. Can I do that real quick? Because holy shkamoly. Sounds kind of FF5-y for a second here. I need to kill Leander here real quick. The FF theme comes in then, for the first time in the game. I'm trying to dissect how many different strings we're hearing. There's at least 5 I can hear. Yeah, no kidding, Omega Legion. Yeah, it goes all the way back to 1. Classic Game Lover. Yeah, it's not in 2, it's not in 10. The Prelude is barely in 10, while we're on the subject. The Prelude's not in 13 either, is it? I've heard some people say this song goes on too long. I actually disagree with that. I'd rather think it goes on exactly as long as it should. Emotions, holy crap. Yeah, without the visuals I could see that, but you know what I mean, right? Like, especially when you watch the ending, it's very clear that the visuals and the audio were designed to pair each other, that they really wanted to make it match. And I think they do a good damn job. And of course, the whole point of this song, in every FF, we win the day and save the world and blah, 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 blah. But forgive me for sounding biased towards my favorite game of all time. But I think in 6, it's a little bit different. Because in 6, we see the failure. We see the loss. We see the world. And we have a little bit more oomph behind the victory, right? Okay, we defeated Zeromus and the world's not going to be destroyed. Cool. That's a good thing. That's awesome. We've defeated X-Death, and now we can experience the world as it should be. Amazing, that's great. But in FF6, what we see is, we see the world broken. We interact with the world broken. And so this music has to be that fulfillment of hope. Not just the hope itself, but the fact that we did it, and now things can start getting better. Instead of preventing bad, in 6, yeah, exactly. We don't, in most of the other FFs, we prevent the bad. In FF6, we start the good, which I know is kind of bad in several ways, because, I mean, the world got wrecked and a lot of people died, but you get the point, right? So it has to have that extra oomph. It has to have that extra length, and it has to have that extra sequence in how it's constructed. But anyways, that's the Pixar Remaster. I think that's everything. Double checking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything. Down the list. So just for the hell of it, there's something I've been meaning to do. I've thought about this for months at this point, and whenever we started doing this. I thought I'd kind of list my personal favorite mix from each of the Pixel remasters, and you can feel free to tell me how stupid and dumb and awful I am, as you always do. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, too, if you happen to have a favorite. So my favorite mix from FF6 in particular, and it's probably not going to surprise anyone, is this one. I mean, this is already a good song. But they do so much with this in the second movement, second section, whatever it's called. Which I'm just going to go ahead and let it play until we get to that point. And it starts off so quiet, and yet the woodwinds are used as they should be, a nice background accompaniment, on top of the primary tune being held by multiple layered strings. Then we bring in a forward woodwind, like an oboe or a clarinet, to actually carry the melody. I can do that, said Slayer. And yes, Loner. And this is all good and all. But then it hits this section. And it goes straight from, we might have hope, to, we frickin' got this. Before loops. So yeah, that's why that's my favorite of the ones from 6. From 5, there's actually several I really like in 5. But I think if I had to pick a favorite from 5, it would be this one. If I can find it. There it is. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. It captures all of the original's vibe and mechanical sound while actually adding to it and making it sound even more alien than it already did. But it never loses that beat. You always hear the gears grinding in the background. The pistons, you know? And no, I have not played Jamal. This is what I believe we call a banger. And then it gets freaky a little bit. From 5? I mean, yeah. You can go watch the VOD. I'm not going to go through everything again. There's a lot of music here. Oh, from 6? You can watch the VOD of that, too. That was last week, I believe. No, it might have been 2 weeks ago. One of them. Originally, I wasn't sure what I liked about or if I liked this section, but I think I do like what they do here. That discordance. Literal discordance. And it just trickles out into... Love that. Alright, so back to 4. Hang on. Properly. There we go. Now 4 had several pretty good songs. My favorite song from 4 original is not my favorite song from 4 the Pixel Remaster. My favorite song from 4 original is this one. But I feel like they went almost a little bit too techno with it. It's good, don't mistake me. And it still maintains everything it needs to, but it just doesn't quite have the impact it needs to. Good morning, Roman. There's some good stuff here, and I probably my biggest complaint was what they didn't do with the 4 Fiends. But my actual favorite song from 4 is... Now, they nailed the drum beat, the military vibe, the verve of this is just perfect. But just like the last song, it didn't really get going until the second movement, which we'll get to in a moment here. Wonderful usage of the brass. The strings, plural, pulling in the background are fantastic. Then this starts up. And the strings move into the forefront as the melody. Now, 3 was an interesting one. I'm going to go and admit that most of the original 3's soundtrack is just kind of there for me. Like, to call it bad isn't quite accurate. It's more like I just don't care about the overwhelming majority of it. It's just there. It's like, okay, you know, whatever. So picking out a favorite in 3 was kind of difficult in general, but especially for this one. Because there's 2 songs in particular that really worked very well for me in the Pixel Remaster. I'm actually still debating, even as of this very second, which one I'm going to say is my favorite. Because we've got, I'll just play them both. Screw it. The final dungeon, the final dungeon. What do I have to add to this? Do you hear how the melody is actually being partitioned out between the strings and the woodwind? And then we have the second movement here, which keeps the pace somehow. And they keep doing that thing where they keep adding flourishes to notes. It should probably come as no surprise to anybody that the other one I really like. Now, I know this is actually the theme of FF3, and is most often associated with it, and is Grahatia's theme, but what's weird about this one for me is it's never really worked for me until this version. Like, this is the first time I actually enjoyed this song, was this exact version. Oh, no argument, Omega Legion. Yeah, this part right here is so FF14. Using the piano as a guitar here. What is this quest? Interesting. What do you mean? What are you talking about, Shadowbringers? There's no Shadowbringers here. Listen, we gotta finish the Crafter quest, and then the MSQ. And Blue Mage. And that's it. It's happening next week. We're getting Shadow next week. Right, sorry, so, 3. So, back to FF2. I'm just enjoying the music here. Wake up, Lore! Getting lost in the side quests. So, 2 has substantially less music than most of these other ones. Now, we all know my favorite song in 2 back in the original, but there's actually 2 songs I'm torn between in the 2 Pixie Remaster. This is the first one. The way they use the strings here and turn this into a full orchestra is actually really awesome. There's at least 4 channels being played there. I haven't even started them yet, Mr. Ed. Give me a break. Still picking them up. And it really helps, too, typical Uematsu, that there's a lot of highs and lows in those strings. And then the usage of the choir and the woodwind actually works really well here. Yeah, plus to story, negative to gameplay. Although that's more for the Crystarium itself. Which just sucks to navigate. The other one is the extremely obvious one. Nobody gets points for guessing this one. This has always been the best song in FF2. What do you want from me? This just happens to be a great take on it. I've actually heard some people complain that this is too FF14-y with the choir. Those people are dumb. I'm sorry, I don't mean that. Those people are wrong! This is the choir that should have been in Dancing Mad earlier. And I just noticed that multiple of my favorite songs are Last Dungeon songs, but shut up! I mean, that doesn't surprise me, Trathan, to be completely honest. The vanilla of every MMO sucks, and FF14 is no exception. So that brings us back to FF1. Now, FF1's never exactly been known for its fantastic soundtrack. But I do think there's one song that gets a really good take in this one. Sure, Rex. I wonder if that's the same one I've been asked to do on camera. So it's a little synthetic, but I love how they pull the chimes in the background, the piano to the front, and the harps as accompaniment here. And then pull in with a woodwind in the background. Accented by strings, which are effectively performing the percussion's role right now. Okay, so Omega Legion, so there's 2 side quests I gotta do on camera then. That's fine. What's the name of your quest, Omega Legion? I'll write it down too. There's actually one other FF1 song I'm rather fond of, which is this one. By the way, this is actually my favorite song. Like, for once, the organ actually works quite well here. Me too, Valvatrix. And then second stanza. More power this time. Using the guitar as percussion. Add the strings to the percussion. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Pixel Remaster soundtrack analysis. I do hope you have enjoyed. I've heard a lot of good and positive feedback about the overall structure. Why do I keep saying structure? About the overall series? Series, there we go. That's the word I wanted to say. I don't know if we'll ever have cause to do something like this in the future. It's certainly something we could consider. Right now we've got the we only do a lore week when you have a reason to do a lore week kind of a thing. Now to play them. Oh yeah, a funny little anecdote. Check this out. So, the FF1 Pixel Remaster, I think I mentioned this. I actually played, I actually bought it on the phone, right? Now, it's coded really strangely, because the way it works is as you're, I can turn this down a little bit. Come on, there you go. As you're playing it, you can pause the phone and go do other things, and I usually only play a few minutes at a time. So for a bit of perspective, I'm nowhere in FF1. Like, I am at the point at which I just got the key. I just saved I just beat Astos. Let's put it that way. I just beat Astos. That's where I'm at. Nowhere in the story, right? Like 40 minutes into the story. The overall playtime I have is 90 hours. Because the game, for whatever reason, doesn't count when the phone is in sleep mode and when you don't have the game active as not playing the game. So it's just counting up constantly for some reason. And that's one of the weirdest decisions I've ever seen for a phone game. For the record, the old FFs on the phone do not do that. So that's just doubly weird. But anyways, I do hope you all have enjoyed. So a little bit of info while we're here. We're about to do the second to last streaminations for the My Little Pony sequence. And shortly thereafter, we will be doing nothing. I have work to do. But next week, we will be doing the last MLP streaminations. So the finale, the end of the series, right? And the reason this is relevant is we're going to not immediately go into the next streamination right after that. We're going to actually pause the streaminations temporarily while we just stream. So starting in 2 weeks, we're going to start doing actual game streams during our Loreweek slot, during the Sunday morning slot, in order to try and, get caught back up when it comes to streaming, because we're just behind on so much of our streaming schedule, and I'm trying to absolutely try and get that caught back up as much as I possibly can. So FYI about how that's going to be going. Obviously, if we do have something to discuss, Loreweek takes precedence and priority, but I can't predict that, so that's just shrug, right? And yeah, go ahead, Omega Legion, while I got you here. Now, today's episodes, if I pull this up, y'all. Are 2 episodes. We're seeing Season 9, Episode 22, which is Growing Up is Hard to Do, and Season 9, Episode 23, The Big Mac Question, which is a documentary about McDonald's. Yeah, weird, isn't it, Roman? I mean, I always knew that. That's not really the issue. I mean, we are a little bit more behind on 14 than I would like to be. But that's not the problem. The problem is I'm behind on streaming in general. The queue needs to shrink, and that's all there is to that. Anyways, I'm going to switch over.